What's going on, guys? I've been getting a lot of questions involving shell dweller care and what people need to get the tank started up. So I'm going to make a video that goes over a broad spectrum of what you need to get started and tips on keeping shell dwellers. And I'll stick to mainly Multifasciatus, or that's the species I keep in here, just because I have the most experience with them. And so yeah, let's get started. I'll cover the decor you need in your tank first. Sand is the base of your tank, obviously. I use pool filter sand. I found the grain size is perfect. The color is great as well. Easy to find and it's cheap. Play sand I've seen used. Aragonite sand. Petco sells some sand that raises the pH. Just small grain sand that you are comfortable with is probably the best bet. And then rocks I use as well to kind of just break up the plain look of shells and sand, which is what is technically in the wild. There aren't many rocks where these fish are. They just live in shell beds, and so I use rocks to kind of break it up and make it look a little more natural. And then shells are also a good option, a must obviously for shell dwellers. I have escargot shells. They're cheap, easy to find for the most part, and very light, so the fish can dig them and move them around and position them how they please. I've seen like those ocean type shells used, which I don't think are too natural. I've also seen PVC used, using like a elbow for PVC and a cap, and I guess it works. I mean, it's not very pleasing to the eye, you could say, but it'll work, I guess. I use, like I said, the escargot. The fish like them, and my male is 2 inches and he can fit in them fine, so that's a size reference for you guys. And I use Java fern in here and Anubias, and that kind of is also adds to the natural appeal. The fish don't really bother it too much. I'd say stay away from plants that can be dug up easily and aren't going to be bothered, and stay away from plants that will be bothered by them nipping from time to time, because that pretty much will happen. They do nip the Java fern every now and then, but it's a hardy plant, so it doesn't really bother the plant too much. Next, I'll talk about how you want your water. Temperature wise, I keep my tanks at 78 to 82 in the summer because it's very hot here in the summer, and it's hard to regulate it because it will get up to 84, and I have to put ice in the hang-on back filters and stuff like that to cool it down, so I don't run a heater in the summer. But I prefer high 70s is pretty much perfect for this species, and most shell dwellers would agree with that temperature. And then your water chemistry. pH should be high, from 8 to 9. I've read that they can handle up to 9, which is pretty extreme. Mine's at 8.2 from the tap, so I don't have to buffer anything, and it's very easy to do water changes in that type of stuff. You might want to invest in a pH altering sand, like I mentioned earlier. The aragonite is a good option. That'll buffer your pH up, so you don't have to worry about it, I guess. So yeah, high pH, hard water. They enjoy hard water as well. I mean, most African cichlids do. Pretty standard. These fish aren't very hard to keep. They're pretty hardy for the most part, so it's not that important. But a high pH and hard water should get you going, and they should be breeding if you provide all that. And next we'll cover food. These are the various foods I feed for this tank. You can see Repashy Superfoods, Spawn and Grow, Omega-1 Cichlid Flakes, and New Life Spectrum Cichlid Formula. Those are all, they've all worked out fine for me. This is the main thing I feed right here, the flakes. They really love those, and then the males can get the 1mm pellets and the fry pig out on the Repashy, so all in all that works pretty well, and I've seen good results from all those. Next I'll cover breeding. Multis specifically breed very easily. You just got to provide good water quality, good food, and a good environment, and they'll pretty much do the rest for you. Very easy to breed. You can see I have a lot of fry in this tank, just swimming all over the place. I have a pair in my 10-gallon, and I found that ratio works well. I guess I could get into ratios for the males and females. If you have, I'd say 1 to 2 males per tank, depending on the tank size. In a 10-gallon, I'd say just 1 male, because they will fight. So like a male and 3+ females if you'd like. That'll get you a great colony going. In a 15 or 20-gallon, you could probably get away with 2 males, but they will get aggressive. So if you have 1 male and multiple females, that's probably the best option. And so as far as fry go, they are colony fish, so they'll raise up their fry. All I did with these was feed a little more, to raise so the fry could get better food, but now I have like specific fry food for them. But when I first started out, I just fed a little more than I usually did, and they kind of just raised themselves, to be honest. I didn't do much else. So they chill in the shells, outside the shells, just all over in the rock piles, wherever they can find a spot that they like. And the males, or the adults, don't eat them. From what I've seen, I think I've heard a few other species might eat them, but mine have been great parents, so that's not a big concern with me. Male goes around and checks on them. Female goes around and checks on him. That's my male, by the way. He'll flare at the camera, so that'll show he's protective of his kids, so that's always good. Cichlids are always good about raising fry, for the most part, so that's not a big concern. And I don't think there's much to cover. That's pretty much it. So like I said earlier, that's a brief care video on shell dwellers in general, and mainly multis. But like any fish, it's good to research your fish before you purchase them, just so you know everything that you can know about them, and you can be a good owner for them. So if you like the video, leave me a like and subscribe if you're enjoying my videos. Thanks for watching, guys.